What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast, which I believe we have officially decided is now Bottom Sprocket. I think we've heat and hawed on it enough. I think it's just we're going to go ahead and call it Bottom Sprocket. So we have a title for this show that you are watching. All in for it. Thumbs up.
I'm all in for it, man.
Thumbs up.
Agreed.
All right.
Yep.
Today, we are going to be talking about advice that we wish we had gotten when we first started. So all three of us started in very different ways. I think if I remember correctly, you got a CB160 and you were going to build it on your coffee table. Josh started riding because of videos we were making on Yammy Noob, and I started riding because I needed a motorcycle to park downtown because it was cheaper than my car. So we just kind of wung it, and there leaves a lot of openings for us to have made mistakes. So we are going to be talking about advice we wish we had when we were starting out, and we have a lot of folks already queuing up in the Discord to respond to that. And then long-awaited return of the meme contest. So this week we are doing a nice little warm-up challenge. It's a softball. We are making fun of the Versus 650, and then we will never speak of it again, I hope. We're just going to go ahead and bury that motorcycle in a landfill, metaphorically speaking, and move on as if nothing happened. But the top prizes for this week, we're just going to release the number 1, 2, and 3 on Instagram and on YouTube so that they can get their chops out there and we can gin up some excitement. And then next week we are going to be, or next podcast, depending on my travel situation, we're going to be giving away a whole ass Cardo unit, which is going to be super cool.
Dude, for like the first official meme contest, that is nuts.
Yeah.
That's so
And
cool.
I'm here for it.
We're giving away a Cardo. So, with all of that being said, let's dive on in. All right, I'm going to start the timer today so that we don't run super mega long because we have a lot to dive into. So, advice that we wish we had when we first started out. Who wants to jump in first here?
I'll go.
All right.
I wish like the moment I was calling somebody about a 1965 Honda, I wish somebody would have smacked me. Wish somebody would have been like, wait, you want your first bike to be what?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be like, yeah, it looks cool. This is a cool thing. And then they would have just wheeled me a dirt bike.
Yeah.
Because I was telling you guys this last time. I had no idea that you get good on the dirt. I had absolutely no idea. I thought it was thing that rich suburban kids who lived out in the sticks got to do, or because they had a cool dad. I had no idea. And the first time we were on the dirt and your back wheel's moving, everything's moving. Josh and I are like screaming down a mountain in Utah. You're like, oh, wait a second. This is where you get good. And that's it. I just wish so bad. That would have been a decade ago.
Yeah.
Imagine how good I would be now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd be a totally different rider for sure.
But instead, you spend your time, anytime fishtailing on the tarmac, you're going to freak out.
Mm-hmm. Because if you fishtail on the tarmac and your rear tire hooks back up, you're going to go ass over tea kettle and go flying into the bushes. I mean, I think all of us in the last like 2 years really kind of had a dirt awakening when we realized that just there's so much more opportunity for cheap, easy fun. You know,
can Dirt Awakening be the name of our dirt biking podcast?
Sure. The Dirt Awakening.
Somebody write that down.
And I actually there's a fun little anecdote. Have you watched anything prepping for the season for MotoGP?
No.
So there was this documentary, I think it was on Netflix. I don't remember. But it was basically talking about how Marquez went through just this grueling process with his arm surgery to get back into shape. A lot of it's just like you didn't realize how close he was to not coming back.
Yeah.
Like he was like, this sucks. I'm here to win. If I'm not winning, I don't want to race. He was like, his team was worried that he was going to retire and all of this stuff. But in one of the episodes, they're talking about his because him and Rossi butted heads so hard to the point where Rossi literally kicked him off of the racetrack in one of these races. I forget which one it was, but I think it was the 18 season, and it was crazy. The whole Marquez Rossi situation was nuts. And Marquez told this story of one time in the off season when he was first starting in GP, he went to Rossi's ranch, which Rossi has a dirt track to train at.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nuts how much just land he's got, and it's just this immaculate dirt track. And he was like, we were having some fun, and then after I went there, our relationship sort of cooled off a little bit. He's like, I have no clue what happened. Maybe it was because I have the new track record there, but it's really weird. And he just like subtly threw in that he beat Rossi's record on his own dirt track, which is nuts.
Ryan Ashley says it was Sepang 2015.
Sepang 2015. Yep. Yeah, that
when he kicked him.
Oh. Yeah, when he kicked him off the track. That would have been really early on when Mark was still either a rookie or the season after, and basically Rossi was like, "I hate this kid. Get literally, you're nuts. Just get away from me," kind of thing. Really
crazy.
Pissed off.
Because he's not like that with everyone who he's super competitive with. Like him and Casey Stoner, when they were going at it, were like they'd cross the line and they were like hugging each other, grabbing for each other, like totally hammering up, having a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. So the difference is Marquez is he was the vanguard of the new breed of racers.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this completely different attitude, and he fully admits to it in the documentary. He's like, when I'm riding and when I'm racing, I'm an asshole.
Is it the docuseries, the MotoGP docuseries that you're talking about, or was it just a documentary
just about Marquez?
Oh, I gotta find that because I watched the whole MotoGP docuseries they had on Amazon Prime.
I'll send you the links to it because it's really cool. It's actually really powerful because you see him talking with his mom and his granddad.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you a fan of Mark?
Cool.
He's my rider.
Okay. I didn't know
through
that.
And through,
right.
Marquez is my guy.
Wow. Josh, what about you?
Yeah, I don't care for Marquez all that much. I don't like the super aggressive riders. I don't know. Did
Everybody's
y'all catch
super
Daytona
aggressive now, though.
By chance?
They have to be.
Yeah. I mean, in MotoGP, it's just crazy. I mean, the racing even looks different. But did either of you catch the Daytona 200?
No, I didn't.
No, because don't they pay gate all that? Like, don't you need like a Moto America streaming pass?
Yeah, it might be on TV somewhere, but I don't know.
Stefano won MP13's Melissa Paris's.
Yeah, he won on Kayla's bike. Yeah, he won the Twins Cup.
Oh, dang.
Which is awesome. Yeah, no, it was pretty dramatic. Josh Herron won the 200 and took Richie Escalante out.
I know Wyman won the King of the Baggers, which is
shocking.
Awesome. Yeah. I love seeing him.
Doesn't the track look like so much fun?
Yes.
I think he did over 180 or like 178 on his bagger.
Because he's a maniac.
I mean, it's got the long banked court. I mean, it's the fastest track ever. That's why they can't do super bikes there. But that's some speed for a big bike like that.
Still right, Josh. What was the piece of advice that you wish that you'd gotten when you started?
Yeah, I feel like I started in a messy way, but I don't really regret that. It did teach me to work on a bike a lot. It was difficult and it wasn't fun going through it, but like in hindsight, I do appreciate that experience. So I'm not going to say like, don't buy a cash bike, don't buy a fixer upper. That's too obvious. But the specific one thing that I wish I had known was to not trust the local shop. I fell into that and I was like, oh, these guys, I don't know other people that ride, but I go there and they're nice and, they'll talk me up on the things that I think are going on with the bike and they take it and have it for a while and ka-ching every single time. And a lot of times the problem's not fixed. So many times I'd give them the bike and they're like, oh yeah, we totally know what's going on. And the guy, one of the mechanics even had an older SV650, a second gen. I was like, this is perfect. Of course, he's going to know everything there is to possibly know about an SV650. I'm in an amazing situation. And I think I blew so much money just letting them try and diagnose things. And because I was too afraid to just get in, start learning myself, ask somebody who knew better, who didn't have a financial interest in it. Don't trust and I can't speak for the shop in your town, but the shop in Austin, I think kind of really spun me around a bit and wasted
without
money.
laying blame on anybody, because I don't want to be calling people out. Was it a dealership or was it a local shop around here?
It was a local shop. Yeah, it was not a dealership. Yeah,
interesting, because there's one dealership here that has a reputation for giving people the runaround.
No way.
Yeah. I think I have a guess as to which shop it was. I'll ask you offline. But
now I want to know too.
You definitely need to do your research. You should talk to other riders in the area and see where they take their bikes. That's a great way to go about it.
Yeah, riders that are a part of a community too. If these guys ride with all your buddies that ride, it's like they're accountable for the work that they do at some level. Because the guys I took it to weren't. They had so many bikes coming in and out, and
dude, I had to go break out my bike because I was so tired of being absolutely dicked around. I went in there and grabbed it, and they were screaming at me saying they were going to call the cops, and I'm like, give me my fucking motorcycle.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to yell at you about you taking your motorcycle away?
I felt like such a, I don't know, like a dimwad. I was like, why did I think that they were waiting on gold points from Japan? It's like, why did I think that?
And I would always shop prices for hours, and I'd go to somebody because his hourly price is $10 less. And having somebody you can trust. Also just thinking that they have your best interest. Like, I'm thinking I'll take my bike so that they can fix it and they're going to get it running as good as possible. But like after the fact, once I learned and got into the carburetors myself and everything, it's like these guys did some absolutely stupid adjustments just because they just want it to run. They just need it to fire up and go around the block so that I'll take it home and pay, not actually get it to run properly.
So Nick Dasco here saying Pop is happy to rip you off. Lots of crooked pops, lol. So we actually, when we were up on Metric, we were right next door to the BMW dude, Cousin Bob. And he was awesome. Like Bob, if ever I had a problem,
a legend has left the town.
I would walk into Bob's shop, and even if he was in the middle of something, he would come up and help me out. And it's a real shame that Bob's out of here because he was so good. But he's up in Arkansas living his best life now.
Alone. I'm like, are there bikes to work on where you're at? In the middle of nowhere?
I definitely want to ride up to Arkansas just to go hang out with Cousin Bob again because he's awesome. And that's the kind of guy you need to find.
Yeah. Happy to say that I'm not talking about Cousin Bob's shop. Was always fantastic. And I bet he has customers in Austin and all of Central Texas who will still drive their bikes up there to him just because, he has so many great customers that trust him. And that's hard to find.
So I think the biggest piece of advice that I wish I would have gotten would have been to not fall down the YouTube rabbit hole looking for the best first bike.
Oh, so you're the opposite of me.
Yeah. When I was looking at my motorcycles, I agonized forever. Really? Yeah, for a long, long time. I agonized about
making you're a calculated person though.
Yeah, I wanted to make the right call. Right. I really wanted to make the right call. I wanted to make sure that I was maximizing my dollar out of my bike, that I wasn't going to get something that was too slow that I could grow into. For that
when you get stuck in like
we call that the spec sheet warrior
or analysis paralysis.
Decision paralysis. Yeah. And I bounced between Harleys, I bounced between Indians, I bounced between Japanese cruisers, little Japanese sport bikes, all kinds of bikes, and I was like, at the end of the day, I was just watching review after review after review after review, and I fell down this because YouTube wants you to just click the next video, So they want you second guessing your decision.
Dude, I had no idea that there were motorcycle YouTube channels giving advice. Like when I met you and everybody was like, wait, this is a thing? Like people make, like they've researched before they buy something?
Yeah. And I know this is sort of quaint coming from a dude who makes his living doing this sort of shit. Take everything that any YouTube reviewer says with a grain of salt.
And shove it up your own butt.
They are not you. We do not know what is going to be the best bike for you. Whenever we are reviewing or looking at a motorcycle, we're looking at it from our lens. It's why I tend to like bikes that are like 110 to 140 horsepower a lot. I like the ones that have a lot of technology. I like them to be really spicy and zesty.
I think there are such different bikes for different ages too. If a 35-year-old is coming to me and saying, "Oh, I want a bike. What should I get?" I'm not gonna tell them a teeny little bit bopper. You know?
Yeah. They're
gonna have more wherewithal about them than an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Like with the Scram. So I've got the Scram in the garage right now. I would only recommend the Scram to a red raw beginner, somebody who's just starting out, somebody who lives in like New York or Chicago, somebody who's doing a lot of city riding, and they need a cheap way to get around because that's exactly what that bike is. It's going to get you anywhere you want to go. And I tried to say that because, of course, I don't want to sit here and say the bike's a terrible piece of garbage, because it's not. But a lot of people are going to hear that if I'm like, this thing's really, really slow, because it is really slow motorcycle.
Yep.
I don't want to give people the impression that just because it's slow, it's bad. It's not. There's a great bike under there. And it's never going to die on you. It's never going to leave you high and dry. There's a lot of pluses, and it's dirt cheap. Oh my God, it's so cheap. Like somebody said in the comment section, they were seeing them selling new for like $4,000 at their local dealership.
That's why I've always loved Royal Enfield. Cheap way to get in.
Yeah. Again, I would say if you're out there, you're looking at videos, you're thinking, I'm going to get started this season. You need to take a trip to the Rock Hard Cafe and figure out whatever bike makes you excited. And then you should think whether or not you can handle that motorcycle.
Except for, I forgot to look up that mass shooting at that dealership because he was laughed at for picking a bike that was too much that he could handle.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, somebody in the Discord look up. It was a guy. He went into a dealership in Illinois, and I think he killed 3 or 4 people because they were mocking him, and he wanted to return the bike, and they were like, "Yeah, no, you don't return motorcycles or whatever." And then he killed him.
So he should have thought about it more, you think? Do you think he underthought the situation?
I think, he saw the prettiest, most expensive bike and got it, and then probably dropped it, and then
there's so many guys I see who don't know anything. Like it's a white startup dude who's like who just got a bunch of vulture venture capitalist money.
He wants a Triumph.
And they buy a Panigale because it's red and fancy. And they're like, this is like a Ferrari, but I don't need to start out with the starter Ferrari. I can just go buy a V4 Panigale. And it's just as fast. And then you see them with no miles just sitting in a garage in some fancy ass house in the hills.
And then people like you and me are looking for one to ride to Josh.
That's right. Yeah. And then we show up ready to pay cash. Now, I think the bike you want should be your second bike. If you have no experience, you should think of that first bike as a pass through. It's like, look, this is a means to an end. Get comfortable, get grounded, get my fundamentals about me, and then get the heck rid of it and get a bike I really, really like. Because like the bike you really, really want, for some people it'll be their first bike. But a lot of the like great bikes, they're too heavy. They're kind of a handful for a beginner.
Well, with all of that, let's actually kick it over to the Discord, folks. So let's dive in with Lucky Blue Wrench. Says, things I wish I knew before I started riding. The clutch is not an on-off switch. I could have saved myself so many stalls, headaches. and even a second attempt at the MSF if he'd have known that. For sure, man. The clutch is not an on-off switch.
No.
I would reckon that he probably is coming to he's probably coming to this from automatic cars.
Yes.
Because if you're coming to it from like even a little bit of manual transmission experience in a car, you're going to be okay.
I will say I drove manual cars before. Maybe I just didn't have a great teacher. Don't tell my dad, but I didn't understand that how much you could control the vehicle by modulating the clutch. I mean, I was used to, I thought the whole goal was just to get it out smoothly, you know, to basically just get it into gear. It's your mechanism of getting into gear as smoothly as possible. And that's not what I use it for today. Now it's for wheelies.
I was about to say, what do you use it for, Josh?
Now it's for wheelies.
So next up, we've got Dasco. His advice, short and sweet. I wish I'd have known that the modern Snell standards are virtually meaningless and that ECE is the only helmet standard that really matters. Also living in a city, I wish I had known about the hack of just wearing a dirt or ADV helmet with sunglasses instead of goggles to keep you cool in the summer. So this is where I'm going to just be like, yeah, the simple flying eyes pitch. They're super comfortable, and I will just wear them all the time and take my visor off in the summer on a sport helmet. But a dual sport
though?
For vlogging, I have to suffer.
Yeah, you have to suffer.
Because a dual sport lid just is not, they're not quiet enough. But they're usually okay. As long as you're not going super fast. But yeah, when I'm just cruising by myself, I take the visor off of my sport helmet. Because they're usually a little bit quieter. But yeah, the ECE is really the only sticker that matters.
Yes.
I will say, though, that Shoei usually will not have a lot of their helmets do say ECE, but a lot of their track day lids will not have a ECE rating on it. Like my X14 does not. My RF1200 does not. However, I know that is a hand-built in Japan helmet and that it's going to be quality. So I'm willing to trust not having the ECE sticker on that one because it's really meant for that one big bash on a track.
Right.
Next up, we've got, that is a meme. There we go. DM topic from Nam Idua. Not sure. I wish someone had told me how calming it can be when you ride with earplugs or earbuds in. Much less fatigue from overstimulation. It just makes cruising around a much more enjoyable experience.
Sometimes I feel like it's making me lose my mind quicker, but that just might be me.
Riding with earplugs in?
Yeah, 100%.
Because you can only hear the voices?
Yes.
Josh, did you just fall out of your chair?
No, I'm okay. I just lost a light.
Yeah, riding with earplugs. You should do that anyway, just because it's better for your hearing.
Oops.
At a certain point, you've already got the tinnitus. You've already lost the hearing. It's not going to get much worse. But yeah, I used to ride when I had Harley 2 without earplugs, but I didn't go anywhere on it. And then I took one ride on a highway going up to like Georgetown, and I was like, this sucks. It's way too loud. And then it was earplugs in all the time.
Especially because you're just beginning and you probably don't have a super expensive helmet either. So you have a cheap helmet, no earplugs, and you go jump on the highway. And that is an awful experience. I'm pretty bad about not riding with earplugs. I've gotten better. And I was a lot better when I was in Austin. Recently I've been bad. But a good helmet does a lot too.
Yeah, when I started out, I was wearing a Bell Revolver Evo. It was 1,000 pounds. It leaked like a sieve. And the only time I've ever seen it mentioned in a video in even a remotely positive light was on one Fortnite video. This is digging deep in the gray matter. I don't remember which video it was. But he was like, this helmet's good in the summer because it's so leaky. There's so much airflow in it. Because it was like a flip up helmet. It was like $200 or something like that. And he was like, if you want to wear this, you're going to get great airflow, but it's going to be really, really loud and it rattles like a beer can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yikes.
Toaster boy, here we go. I wish I knew that you have to make sure to kick the stand. The kickstand is fully deployed before getting off the bike. Yep. How many times with Harleys specifically have we been moving them around the shop and been like,
why won't they fix that?
Character, emozione, or it's just it's the way they did it in Milwaukee in 2000 that probably 1975.
Maybe they all flick it down differently. Maybe they trust it more. I don't know.
I have no clue, but I hate the 2-stage kickstand. Especially the 2-stage kickstand is bad. The one on the Pan America is the worst kickstand Harley has ever put out.
It's actually what made me collapse on the side of that mountain.
Yep, I remember that.
Ooh, foop.
That's terrible. Can you just take them off and replace it with an aftermarket adventure kickstand or something?
So.
Or is it too sophisticated in its whole little step out procedure?
Harley branded.
Yeah.
So the ones on their normal bikes, you can get replacements for that don't do the 2-stage thing, but it's also the way that the joint is set up because it can wiggle in its place.
Yeah, it's the one thing I don't want to fucking wiggle on my bike. It's the thing that keeps it upright when I'm not around.
It needs to be solid.
It needs to you need to trust it. It needs to be a really trusting relationship with your fucking kickstand. Especially if you have a Pan America, otherwise it's gonna flop on the ground and you're gonna be sad.
And it's heavy to pick
it's heavy
back
as
up.
Balls.
I like it when you flick the kickstand and it goes boing, and it snaps right back into place.
Which boing are you talking about?
Where it sounds like a diving board and it goes
on your
kickstand.
Never had
the
one
spring
that strong.
is so. There have been a couple that I've snapped up, and they are literally so strong that it'll rattle in place and bounce up and down.
Have you ever kicked yours and it flew off? Because that's happened to me. And then you were stuck there with
really
Smart. Rattled right off. Kicked it up and it flew, and I just stood there. And I was like, I guess I'll put it on the wall and hope that it doesn't fall.
So you were getting off the bike or you were getting on the bike?
I was getting off the bike.
Okay.
And it flew off. And then I just was stranded. And then I put it on a center or on that just a regular car stand.
You just had it carjacked until you could put it back on. Full Metal Corgi. Wish I would told how expensive it was. It's not cheaper than a car you keep wanting to buy Farkles and swag.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Yeah. What does he mean by that? Because my monthly payments were cheaper than car payments.
Yeah, but the motorcycle lifestyle, you end up getting more for your motorcycles than you would for your car. Because at least for me anyway, this is totally true. My car is just, even though it's the Speed 3 and it's kind of sporty and all that stuff, I don't give a flying about its performance because I have a motorcycle. And so my motorcycle gets pampered, and it's like the Gordon Ramsay meme.
So
and
that's for people who like to mod their bikes.
Yeah.
I've kept most stock.
Yeah, I feel like all of the mods that were on the Svart came from Rottweiler.
Yes.
There was a sponsored thing. And then isn't the Beamer completely stock?
Completely stock. I do kind of want to talk to motivation, but it's been years now. So I'm not spending a ton of money. I'm not dumping money on my bikes.
Do they make an SC for that one?
They make all sorts of good. They're like, when I got it, they were the first people I talked to, and they're like, what are you doing? You need to get a tune and a power commander and this and that. They're like, there's a whole bike under there. So I still think about that often.
They've got a crazy, or at least had a crazy one in their showroom. I haven't been in a while, but I remember.
And it was so
really
cheap. It was
like R9T.
$12,000. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, the gear, gets you. I never am looking on social media and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would look so good driving in that jacket. It's never happened. Or man, I can't wait to go drive wearing those boots. Car stuff doesn't call me to buy more gear. Motorcycle though, it's all the time. It's nonstop.
Yeah, I'm never going to spend $1,000 on a helmet ever again, unless it's a Marquez graphic. The Marquez Motegi graphic is the coolest one that it had the little beckoning cat on it. I want the beckoning cat.
Did I ever show you the helmet where it was a dude's pants pulled down and his nuts were flapping and his butt cheeks were spread?
No.
It's like a famous racing helmet because as you see it pass you can laugh, and it's just like I'd spend $1,000 on that.
It's like
That's
Rossi's one
amazing.
helmet that he had with him like his face on it. Did you see the Rossi face helmet?
Yeah.
I don't think it. No, an image doesn't come to my mind. I might not have seen it. Yeah, I'm actually trying to get a new street helmet too right now. Replace that red Shoei that I've had forever, because it's about street riding season up here, and I have no idea what I'm going to get.
I would just get an RF 1400 because you have the 12. 14s are great.
Yeah,
They're claustrophobic as hell if you're trying to ride them dual purpose off road, but they are super quiet. If you're looking for a motovlogging helmet, RF 1400. Let's see here. Who is next? We've got Moto Tigris with advice prior to starting riding. Don't spend money on new gear because you'll go through it a lot. You'll go through a lot of it before you figure out what kind of kit you really like. So basically the advice there is to start with used stuff. Where do you guys land on used gear?
I've used a bunch of it. So
Yeah.
I have my tracksuit and that helmet.
Tracksuits are different.
I got off of Facebook. I had great success with that. I looked for a week, found a dude who is identical stature to myself, and he had stopped riding like 5 years ago when he moved to Austin, and I just bought all of his gear. Got a great deal on it too. So I'm totally cool with it. I didn't sleep well with the helmet bit. I rode in that helmet a whole lot. However, there were a number of times where I was like, I'd probably feel better if I bought a helmet out from a store. You just don't know what happens to them, and you can look and assume it hasn't been dinged up or anything like that. But
yeah, I guess if it's like, oh, I bought this, I wore it once, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's a great deal.
yeah,
But I don't pick out my gear ever. I don't ever go to a gear shop and look at like pants and jackets. I don't. I really don't. I hate shopping, even when it's for stuff like that.
How?
do you get stuff?
How do you get gear that like fits you?
I guess.
You buy it online?
No, I went to Cycle Gear. I was like, that'll work. And then Lucas is like, you want to try it on? I was like, no, I don't. I want to leave.
Jeez. I mean, the only piece of used gear that I will recommend you don't get is a helmet. Never get a used helmet, but
Yeah.
used
Used other stuff. Yeah.
sure,
It
totally
looks
fine.
good. It looks like it's not all farted on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Moto Tigris here says helmet, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be
Yeah.
new. Don't skimp. Absolutely. Do not skimp on a helmet. Very bad idea. Next up, we've got China Shite Bike Boy. One thing I wish I'd learned as a noob is that aftermarket parts you put on your bike will not add anything to the sale price later
Why do
on.
people think that? Why do people think that?
Would have saved a lot of stock parts if I'd have known that.
Oh,
I understand
this
exhaust.
So I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will never, ever, 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 ever make money on mods.
No.
Never.
Yep.
Especially if you go for a lot of power adders.
In fact, you'd lose money.
Yes.
Think of like, oh, I kept this stock. It is absolutely stock. You'd be like, shit, yeah, give me that.
Yeah, like your
You'd pay more.
BMW, you're going to get out of it almost probably what you paid for it,
Mhm.
would be my guess.
Somebody-
But the Svart, because it's got all the shit in there, is like, clearly somebody's like, no, it may have been taken care of, but it got ridden like a
Mhm.
sport bike.
right.
Even though suspension stuff, I feel like that's a good mod to do. I recommend it, but you're going to spend a whole lot more than you're going to get out from it. You list a bike just because it has Olin's on it or something like that, you're not getting what you paid, not even half, not even close. And it narrows the pool of buyers so much who are willing to pay your price because they want that performance bonus.
Yeah.
That you've got the best chance of selling it if it's bone stock.
Okay, so here, I
Basil.
wish I would have known.
Old Bay.
Never sell your first bike. Keep that bad boy forever. Totally miss it.
Do you wish you still had your bike?
So bike number 1 is in a dump.
Dump.
Bike number 2, my fiance actually owns. So we technically
that's
still have it.
nice.
Yeah.
Hang on to it. You're not going to sell it, right? She's not going to sell it.
She owns it. I sold it to her.
Well, right.
So,
but you guys
it's in
will
the family.
soon be a unit and you won't sell it together.
Yes. You got rid of your XSR, which I guess you would probably consider your
I
first
saw
bike.
somebody riding it. I thought,
Literally yours?
I did. Yeah. Lucas and I wanted to chase him down. That's mine. Give me back my bike. No, same mirrors, everything. Like,
wow.
We ran after it. Yeah.
That's nuts.
I know who still has my first Honda. I'm thinking about buying it back, but he did just absolutely like painted the whole thing yellow.
Ooh.
I know. Why would you do that? He's a Ducati person.
Ooh.
Don't shard on my Honda like that.
And then you have you've got a Gen 2 SV650 and you started on the Gen 1. So technically you still have the same bike, and your original one was a disaster and a half.
Yeah, I wanted to get rid of that thing, that's for sure. I never had the two at the same time though, because I got the GS as the second bike that I technically purchased. And I had that one for a while. Right. Yep. Yeah. I was doing all the work for it, got it running. And then afterwards, I bought the SV650. It was technically the third bike I bought, but I don't know. I consider it my first bike. That first SV was so bad. It needed to be put to rest. It was in better shape when I got rid of it, but ugh.
I think if it's different if you have a taste like that in your mouth. You're like, okay, see you later.
Yes, right.
That's kind of how I was with the DRZ. I was just like, go away. I never want to ride you again. Thank you very much.
Boil them, mash them, and stick them in a stew. How are you going to drop that and not explain to us?
So Nexron here says potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Is that a nursery rhyme?
No, that's from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Somebody else, please tell me they understand that meme, please. Anyway, moving on. We've got Expecto Delito. Now that I've just kind of shown my ass to the world as a gigantic nerd. I will own that forever. I'm a huge nerd.
We wouldn't be here if we weren't nerds.
Yeah.
So.
I wish someone had told me that riding is much more of a constantly evolving skill that you need to actively work on rather than just being something you pick up over time. Hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so important, especially with off-road riding. Like we bringing it back to what we were talking about at the beginning with off-road riding. There's so many skills you can pick up.
But isn't it funny though how you don't? I always just thought that I would become Ewan McGregor at 50 and I would ride ADV bikes.
And you'd just be totally fine.
I just never thought that it was a process or that you needed to have other skills.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be fine. And it's something that you do, but it's not. It's always evolving.
Yep. Like literally now, every single time I come to a stop on the KLR, I lock up the rear brake and I just kick the rear end super far out and I come into a big giant skid every single stop.
Big nerd, you big KLR nerd, man.
I love skidding into a stop, and it's a skill that really took just time to. Like I had to practice that off road. I taught myself how to do donuts on a motorcycle.
And you were a supermoto dad for a while.
Yeah, it was really fun. There's so much cool you can do on a motorcycle. I still can't even wheelie.
I can't wheelie either, but I want to learn. There's a wheelie school. I was like, that would be the nerdiest thing.
We should go to wheelie
I was
school.
like, I kind of want to go to wheelie school. They have like you know how Superbike School has the bike that won't tip over.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the
bike that won't
Triumph. Yeah, that won't loop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should go to wheelie school.
Ewan. It's Ewan McGregor.
Ewan.
Look.
Ewan. I feel like I didn't think at all about what I wanted to do on the motorcycle. I was just like attracted to this vague something that existed that had two wheels on it. And I was like, I just want motorcycle in my life. And I had no idea what I was even going to do with it. And so I went for like the top of the bell curve, like just a naked bike. And honestly, I think I probably should have went with a Super Sport. I don't know. I love SV650s now, but like, if I had really thought about like what kind of riding is available and what I want to do, I don't know. I wouldn't have gotten a naked bike probably.
Would you get nowadays, knowing what you know, would you want to get like a 600 or a 750, or would you get something like an R7, something kind of chilled out?
It's a tough question, man. That is a really tough question. I do not agree with starting on a 600. It's too much.
Well, not to start on, but like now that you kind of know what you want more out of motorcycling, would you get like an R7 so that you can have a street fast boy bike, but one that you can like just absolutely rail around a racetrack? Or would you just turn it into a track bike so that you don't have the temptation to be the street squid?
No, I'll just be a street squid. I want a Gixxer 750. It's on the horizon. So
that's what I like to hear, Josh.
Yeah, I need one, honestly. I'm really excited to ride the new P-Twin Suzuki. I'm very excited to check that out and see what it's all about. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty decent balanced bike, but
it is the GSX-8S. It is the worst. It's the worst set of characters and letters ever. It drives me nuts that they do that.
Yeah.
Let's blow through these last four really quick here because we've got we're running up on time. We got to get to the memes. Might be subjective, but I think for me, it's how fragile bikes are compared to cars and how much more maintenance they need, unless you're on a KLR, I guess. Yeah, there's a big difference in how quickly a motorcycle totals out. Like a little nick on the frame, and an insurance underwriter will just, it's a total loss. You're out. You're free.
Wait, really?
Yes. Yeah, if you have any frame damage on, well, most motorcycles, on that, if you have any frame damage, Whitney, you're gonna have to wait for a frame from Austria. Just gonna tell you that right now.
I can't believe that you put up with that.
Yeah, but
that's a different story.
But most of the time, any frame damage and the bike is an instant total loss, total write-off. Last one.
Yes.
Here, I think one thing I would have liked to know before I started riding was that two most impactful things I could do to my bike right off the bat, or adjust my ergonomics and my suspension to fit me. Yes.
You must be a big dude.
Yeah,
tall dude.
You really need to get your bike set up so that it at least fits you comfortably. Even if you're in the ballpark, there's so much stuff you can do to really adjust your exact fit. Like I was with Dave Moss when we were doing the Vegas training with Ride ADV. And
who's married to Kate Moss.
And I have no clue. I had no idea. I knew you could rotate your handlebars like up and down.
Yeah.
It did not even occur to me that you could slide them side to side.
Okay, why would you slide them side to side?
Because, and he explained this, that most right-handed riders tend to ride tight with like they pull their right arm in.
Yeah.
So it's shorter. So if you're experiencing shoulder discomfort after long rides, try moving your handlebars to the left a little bit so that your right hand is closer to your chest. And I'm actually going to do that on the Ducati tomorrow before I hit the road because it's going to drive me nuts otherwise.
I'm always trying to relax my goddamn grip though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially if you're in the mountains and canyon riding and stuff, you're like, God, you're just let go of the goddamn bars. Because otherwise, you're going to lock up and get really bad arm pain.
Yeah.
That's got me thinking. I'll add tires to that. I had no idea how big of a deal tire. I mean, I had no idea. And it's so intuitive to think that obviously bad tires are going to affect the experience, but great tires, oh my gosh, they feel so good.
Josh, have you ridden on stickies?
Not slicks, but I've ridden on Hypersport tires that are,
I have never gotten to experience riding on proper rubber.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you've been on S22s or something like that, that's really good.
I don't think that I have.
Okay, yeah.
You probably have without knowing. But yeah, you have, because you rode my smc-r. That one had S22s on it.
When you have nice bikes that have nice tires from stock, I bought it such a used piece of crap bike that it had it's like any new tire would have been 8 times as good as these tires. So there's a spectrum on it. Most new tires are gonna be pretty all right, but when you go from really bad tires to like crazy good tires, that's a really fun gap.
All right. We have talked enough. It is now time.
Shut up!
It is now time for the meme contest.
The memes. Can we have a meme song?
A meme song?
Can somebody make us a meme song? And maybe it's just us, different notes and pitches saying memes. But I want a meme song for the podcast.
That would be great.
That would be awesome.
Somebody out there in Streamland, I'm sure that one of you is talented enough to do that. Let's dive in with. Let's start in the order that I got them because we have a lot of entries here. And I'm just real quick, Josh, are you able to see my screen right now?
Yes. You've got the File Explorer open.
Perfect. All right. We're going to start off with Summit Coyote's meme here for today. And again, our memes are making fun of the Versus 650. So if you have a Versus 650 or no sense of humor, goodbye. I don't want to read your comments. If you do have a Versus 650 and a sense of humor, welcome. Okay, so today's meme here, it is a super simple one. The corporate needs you to identify the difference picture. And it looks like he found a green E350 here, which, I mean, that hits a little home for me.
Yeah, that's personal.
My E350 is a freaking disaster. But
Don't you just want to crawl up under that thing and change the oil?
Oh. No, I want to crawl up in a corner.
Do you want to smooch its catalytic converter?
I want to steal its catalytic converter and put it in mine.
Smooch it. Yeah.
So, knee-jerk response here to Summit Cowboy. What are you going to give it, Whitney?
Oh, we have to rate them.
We have to rate them.
Oh my God. Yeah. What's the rating out of 5?
1 to 10. Let's do them 1 to 10.
That one's like a 6.
A 6.
I'm not going to think about it too hard. That one's a 6.
I think a 6. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I'm fine with 5 or 6. Yep.
Let's go with a 6. There. So, moving on up, we've got Toaster, which is the meme that I think you were getting very excited for. This one. So I think Toaster actually submitted a handful. This is the one that I chose because it made me laugh the hardest when I was looking at it.
One? Well, explain this one to me first. Explain this one.
Well, so it's a weeb version of the Donald Trump Papers meme.
Ah.
The one with whatever his name is. But yeah, it was the weeb energy was there for me. And I a lot of people submitted a bunch of them, so I had to pick the ones that I think were the best. Right. But I will show you Toaster's other one here. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Where are you, Toaster boy? Right there. So he's got the GIF. Get ready to go cross country on a Versus 650.
That one is so good. That one is so good. Oh.
Yeah, so that one's simple but good there. And then we have the other one with me being excited about the light speed.
They look the same. That's hilarious.
They actually, honestly, looking at it, they look so similar, and I did not realize that side by side. So, of the three, which do you think is the meme of the game?
Top one, yeah. Well, like weeb. Okay, sorry, I have to come in here. Weeb, like just like
you don't love the weeb energy, or
what the
boo? We don't have time to.
Is this some hentai that I'm supposed to be hip?
I'll let Toaster explain it when we're off stream. Maybe.
Okay, so it's not like, oh, you're being such a weeb. It's like something else.
No, it's you're being such a weeb. It's we'll dive into weeb culture later, but okay. So
take notes of all the stuff we did.
For the GIF here, how are you gonna rate that one?
Dude, that GIF is like a solid 8. A solid 8 or 9 because it looks from where I'm at and how small your screen is, it looks like you. Like obviously it's a good deep fake. It looks like young college you. And
haircut.
I think that one's great.
I actually like the Ducati one the most, I think, of those three.
Oh, yeah, Josh really liked the Ducati one. So look at that. Toaster made a meme for all of us.
He did make a meme for all of us. Unfortunately, we have to pick one of them.
Oh, yeah, we average.
The problem, guys, you have to select one meme.
Well, we can have meme show and tell hour.
But okay, so let's rate the GIF.
Well, if we rate all of them, I mean, Josh, what would you give the one that you got?
I'd give it like an 8. Yeah.
So you give them 8 out of 10.
All right, 8 out of 10. There we go. All right. We'll be a little bit more organized next time, I promise. But we're just having some fun today. All right, moving on. We've got Blotter with nice and simple. Yeah, that's how I feel about the Versus 650 right there.
Could you imagine if somebody came up to you and said that? It would make you so mad.
That I ride a Versus 650?
Oh, like, hey, what's up? Yeah, so I ride a Versus 650.
I would never, okay, I have my personal opinions about a motorcycle, but I will never be like, you chose a bad motorcycle. I don't think I would ever turn to somebody who walked up to me and was like, hey, Spite, what's going on? Yeah, I ride a Versus 650. I'm like, dude, they're totally adequate motorcycles.
Okay, I thought you were saying you would do that.
No, I'm not.
No, you're
that's
not.
mean. So, for Blotter here, what would you give it?
7. The first
7?
one that comes to mind.
Josh?
Yeah, I'd go 7 again. 7.
I would go with like a 6. So I think we give him a 6.5. What do you think? 6.5.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's the first thing this dude is saying to describe himself as well. I feel like that's kind of critical in it as well. Like, not only is he a Versus 650 rider, but that's like the first thing he says to explain himself. That's who he is. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Adamanide. I don't know how to pronounce it. We'll just go from there. But this is so Kawasaki's looking at a nice mid-range engine, and then the 650cc 180-degree parallel twin stops him.
Okay, but I'm confused. So Kawasaki's checking out the ADV, but then the guy coming out is like stopping.
He's like,
him.
hold up, dude. Yeah.
Is he cock blocking him?
Yeah. So do you know the story of this?
No.
So this is the Gillette, like, men should be better. It was at the height of the Me Too movement.
Okay.
And so this dude was like getting ready to catcall the chick, and the dude was like, whoa, hold up, dude. That's not okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at me getting schooled on pop culture right now.
Yeah. So I feel like if we have to explain the meme, we probably aren't doing super hot here.
Yeah, I like it though. I mean, they're making the joke that Kawasaki could have made a really cool bike for the segment, and they didn't.
And then they didn't. Yeah.
And they put that motor in it, and it's just not exciting anymore.
So what would you give it?
Josh, what would you give it?
7.5 actually on that one.
Damn, what would you give it?
I'd give it like a 6.5.
Okay.
Because it's just text on screen.
Yeah, don't count me in, because I'm like, I didn't understand the format or really.
You're disqualified.
So I think since we're right down the middle, we'll go for a 7 on that. Aussie Rider is next. This one should be nice and easy here. This makes me feel good. A Versus 650 can become a real adventure touring weapon.
This is
mods.
Good Lord.
Taint liquor meme right here. You give this one a 10 out of 10, don't you? You don't dole out 10 out of 10, so it'd be like a solid.
Yeah, it's this one. This one is not a 10 out of 10 meme. I can tell he's pandering to me though, and I appreciate that. But not a 10 out of 10 here. I'm thinking this is probably like a 7, 6.5, something like that.
What is going on with that KLR?
Well, it's not a KLR. This is a Versus 650.
Is it? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, no, that's a Versus 650. And he just like completely adventure spec'd it out, which I have no clue why you would ever do that. Probably because Kawasaki refuses to make a more modern KLR 650. And that would probably work, but it also just looks like
that is nuts.
That
looks like just hot garbage.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And you don't have any frame underneath the engine there.
No, you don't, because it's all stressed member. So you see the
you see the little bracket they made just to
grief.
Smash that bracket into your engine.
I mean, when there's a will, there's a way.
Out. Yeah.
So what are you going to give this one?
7.
7, Josh?
I go 6.
6? I think 6.5. So just meeting you guys halfway. Nam I do, I guess, is next. I like this one, especially since you're about to buy yourself an ancient gold wing.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
There are opposite energies.
I like how he also put it right at the tip of the bell curve.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I've never seen any of those meme faces before.
I love these like just shrunken head memes. The ones that are just like completely, fetal alcohol syndromed out.
Stretch Pond a ruckus.
I love riding around downtown and just seeing the stretch ruckuses everywhere. They're all over the place.
They're so loud and they're so slow, and God,
yeah.
I
saw a
ridden
dude in my neighborhood the other day trying to get his stretched Honda Ruckus to start working again in the dead of night.
Because he was late for his party that he had to go to with all of his skater buddies.
So how are you going to rate this one?
7.
7? Josh?
Yeah, it's thoughtful. It's intelligent. I'd go 7.5 on it. I'd give it a little extra.
Dude, I like hearing Josh rate memes.
He's so nice.
I've never done it. I've never done it before.
I guess I've never really done it either. I've just watched.
You were always the meme weeder.
Because the meme weeder.
You were the sieve through which memes had to go through.
I was the meme curator. I remember coming to work and being like, spite.
All the memes suck.
No, I'm like, what? This person, we need to call the cops. Like, this person is not okay. And then you're like, oh, whatever. And then I'd show it to you and you're like, dude, call the cops. Like, because sometimes you get a window into some people's brains and you're like, what did you think that they said? What are you trying to say? Do you need help? Anyway.
So I think we landed 7.5.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Let's go with 7.5 because this is our most like of the text on screen ones. I'm liking that one a lot.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Tumbleweed. This one made me laugh when I first saw it. So this is the Tuttles meme.
Digga.
Reliable form of transportation with no extra fills, and that's why I like it. My soul's being sucked out of my butt. Damn it, Spite, you're not allowed to have opinions accepted as the most superior form of motorcycle tip of the bell curve.
That's a good one.
I really like it because that was literally
the whole.
If you followed my escapades in the comments section, I was trying to do this.
Yes.
It felt so accurate while I was reading it. Made me laugh really hard. I want to give this guy like an 8.
All right, do it.
Yeah, I go for the 8 for sure. That really nicely summarizes this entire weird month-long investigation we've had with the Versus 650.
It's been a saga. The Versus saga will go down in history, I think. So Don ATX gave me like 4 memes because he owns a Versus. So I selected the one that I think was his best entry as our starting point. It's coming through. Give me 1 second here. I gotta change the.
We gotta call the sound wizard, everybody.
Yeah, I gotta. Where's my audio device? Speakers.
Don't ask
sound
me.
Wizard. Change the output.
There we go.
It worked.
So this
riding footage on the Versus 650.
Yeah, this is from our video.
Okay.
This motorcycle is amazing. Like seriously, it puts everything Harley, Yamaha, Ducati, and KTM have ever made to shame. Seriously, sell all your other bikes and go buy a Versus 650. Look, you all know me. I wouldn't recommend a bike to you if it was trash like the Pan American. The power, handling style, and sex appeal just oozes out of this thing.
Okay, that one wins.
Yeah, he went with the GPT one. Did you get Did you guys hear it out in Streamland?
Dear Streamland, did you hear it?
I wasn't able to.
Oh.
Well, I'll share it I'll figure out a way for you guys to hear it. So I think this one, I'm going to go ahead and give it like an 8.5 or a 9. This is really high up there.
I give it a 9.
A 9.
I think that's a great meme.
I think we go 9 here.
Go for it.
Which leaves Porgy last chance.
I was about to say, I'm like, something felt like it was missing.
Yeah, so Corgi, he submitted multiple as well, and I picked the one that made me laugh the hardest. But we have, I'll show you his other ones, and then we'll go through the other one from Don ATX as well. But this one is just a nice, simple GIF.
Oh, that's a really good one.
When I saw that, I laughed my ass off the first time. This was so funny. I love this GIF.
I think that really embodies the collective consciousness of the Discord too.
Yes.
Like just your sweet trusted driver
And they're
who's
just
also
It's
That was-
current. I mean, it is Pedro Pascal's day right now. That's
Dude,
perfect.
that guy is having a renaissance right now. Pedro
Yeah, he
Pascal
is.
is doing everything.
Yep. Yasmin will
everybody
not
see
shut
the
up about it.
finale of Last of Us.
I didn't. I do not
You're
like
not a
enjoy
fan.
the sadness porn. I call it that show is just sadness
Sad porn?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
sadness.
Ruby watched the finale with me last night. She's like, "So what's happening?" I'm like, "Look, she's having a baby and she's got to stab a
no.
zombie in the
Yeah,
head."
don't tell me. I'm going to watch it after this. I didn't watch it yesterday.
So does it unseat Don ATX's?
Oh, come on, man.
One,
I
no.
hate the headers. I hate the head-to-headers.
Because this is the one. This is we have winner or loser. Personally,
winner or loser.
second place is first loser. But no offense to whoever comes in second. But I will say Don ATX went through the trouble of having the AI voice do me.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah,
you're now you're bringing in effort,
A little
which
bit of
is
effort
which
here.
is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to be really creative to overcome good effort. I agree. I'd give it to Don.
I think Corgi's
Yeah.
like an 8.5 here. I think
Do you hear that, Corgi?
he's got to step
You
up
gotta
the
try
game
harder
next time.
next time.
But
Everybody says donate in Don ATX. So.
yeah. So let's just super fast. We'll go through the other the ones that Don ATX sent and Corgi sent just for shits and giggles. So Don ATX has this one. Let me get the audio going so you can hear it.
Was that Revenge of the Nerds?
Nerds, yeah.
No, nerds.
Oh, that's good.
That's really good.
I like that one, but I
Wow.
like the
Was that
Chat
also-
GPT better.
Was that also Don ATX?
That was also Don ATX. He came hard this
Damn.
week.
Skills. That's some skills. That bike was cut in there really nicely.
Yup.
Did you just say he came hard?
I guess he went hard in the paint. Good grief. We're at the end of the. Let's just. We're almost at 70 minutes. Come on, let's get this done. Nobody's gonna hear that. All right, Corgi episode 2 here, which
I saw this
bringing
one.
this
This is a
one
good one.
in. The only reason Corgi I didn't include this one is because I've seen this format a lot. It's really funny, but I've seen it too many times.
But your shit's old news.
so boring.
That's a good one.
That one is good. And then Corgi's last one here. This one just made me laugh. The versus is Hufflepuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let's go through here. Oh, we have one. We have Toaster and we have Tumbleweed. We have one throwdown. So this is we gave Toaster an 8
Okay, remember,
across
yeah,
all of his.
Toaster made a meme for all of us, so remember that.
And then Tumbleweed made this one. I think with one strong single entry versus 3 good ones. What do you think? Because this is really strong.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does feel like it's summarizing this saga with the bike that we're happy to put to rest after this.
So that means that if I'm understanding the crowd correctly, Don ATX is the winner of the first week. Corgi is a second place, and then Tumbleweed takes third.
There you go.
Oh, dude. We got a new meme champion.
We got a new meme champion. Somebody is
gonna
coming for
happen?
your crown, Corgi.
Oh, because what's next is a goddamn Cardo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which one?
Real
We're
competition.
giving. I'm not sure which one we're giving away
right.
yet. It might be an Edge, depending on what they've got in stock.
We're not
So we
giving
might be
you
able to give
slim
away an
around here.
Edge.
We're giving you edge.
which
Edges.
is a big boy. So let's real quick, just since we're all here, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the share, and I'm gonna pull up our list of meme entries We have so much here to pick from. Which one gets your goat up? We're going to give these guys a week to do this. Z650 memes to make Nick cry.
I think we should do Top Gear memes because there's some that came out after our last episode. They were really funny.
All right, there it is. I like that. Riff on the podcast is called Bottom Sprocket. Give us the Bottom Sprocket Top Gear memes. Make it happen.
We had a question. Neil Beekman asks, is the contest for the U.S. only, or can we international? Do you get them, or no? You send.
I send the stuff to Cardo, so
says,
I might be able to. I will give you more information on that. I'll text my guy tomorrow first thing, and I'll let you guys know in the Discord.
Yeah, most likely they can though. Most likely they can ship them anywhere.
They should be able to ship it.
Yeah,
anywhere.
that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's
think.
exciting. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. So, guys, with that, this one was a big one.
This was a big one. And the last time that we turned off the cameras, you said, "Okay, I got to go home and take my pants off." No, you said take my pants off.
Did I? Oh yeah, I had. Yep.
And I was like, "Damn, hell yeah, fight!
Right.
Yeah, this man knows exactly what he needs to do."
Well, tonight I need to go eat some dinner.
Oh, okay, it's dinner time.
It's dinner time because I drove from Houston to Austin today.
Just now, or no, earlier?
A couple hours ago.
Okay,
yeah.
still.
But yeah, it is time to call it. Josh, thank you for hanging out with us. Whitney, thank you for opening your garage.
Of course, Josh. Always good to see your dimly lit face in a garage full of Josh-like things.
Yeah.
You're in the cave.
Down. Yeah, I know. It's like it was so nice when I set it up, and then it gets darker and darker and darker.
And it gets further.
So I'm gonna have to buy actual lights.
Well, guys, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This was a ton of fun, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.